there are no T's in this video, but there are books or graphic novels in this sense. This is Monstress. This is one of the books that I read in December, and actually a really interesting read. So, in my interest of doing a lot more book reviews, I wanted to explore this book because I do think that it invites discussion. There are other things that are almost across the board amazing, and there's things that are almost across the board sucky. Some things depend on fandoms, other things depend on talent. Some people are just so good. Monstrous is an interesting thing to discuss because I do think that a lot of people are going to disagree. Here's my take on it. I liked it a lot. I think the art is some of the best art I've seen, dare I say, a while or ever. I was constantly amazed by the artwork of Sana Takeda. I think she did remarkable. I'm not gonna scroll that far ahead. Let me look for a panel. But here's a good example. It is constantly, the details in this book are just so beautiful, and it invites to be read more than once. Here's the thing. Marjorie Liu did write an interesting story, but she does not care that you have no idea where it came from. From the get-go, you are catching up. You are trying to figure out where you are in the story, and what's going on. There's a lot of mystery in this book. There's a lot of intrigue, and that's good and bad. It's good because you go like, what the hell is happening? And that drives you to read more. It's bad because it takes a while to give you the answers, and you could go 30 pages, easy, and still be like, and focusing on the artwork. Why do you stay lingering in that? I do think that the dialogue is not the best, especially when it comes to Micah Half-Wolf. A lot of the other characters have good dialogue. Interesting. She actually inherits something that she shouldn't have, that lives within her. Let's say it that way. When that character speaks, it is fascinating. When the cats speak, it's fascinating. When the witches, their nuns, speak, it's fascinating. When Micah speaks, every page or two there is an F-bomb. Frickin' this and frickin' that and frickin'. When you pick up this book, and I'm gonna be completely douchey about this, it looks extremely classy, and it is extremely classy. It explores various topics of exploitation, of gender roles, of gender relationships, same-sex relationships, mother-daughter, grandmother, familial relationships. It is a complex and deep work. In that sense, my hat's off. It is complex enough and fascinating enough to make me wonder what the hell is going on here. But Micah talking, she's 17 in the book. I get that. But when the F-bomb is used to create edge, that's what it feels like. It feels like someone doing air guitar and trying to be so badass, because I'm so badass and I'm gonna stay bad. If you would have taken out all of the F words of this book, it would have been a better book. That's how I know that you didn't need them. That's how I know that it was in dire need of someone saying, do it PG-13 rather than R. in terms of language, in terms of content and the gore, that was fascinating, and the battle scenes are great. But in terms of her dialogue, more confused would have been better. And I don't know. It's just try to imagine something. Try to imagine f bombs. Every once in a while from Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy 3 or Final Fantasy. 7 had some adult language, but Final Fantasy 9, which was more quirky. And I'm not saying this is quirky or anything. I'm just saying that it was. It didn't need it, and it did throw me off because I love the word fuck. I said it. And when it's used properly, I think it's great. But I think a lot of people use it as a crutch. They use it as an effing crutch. Effing. And to see such a detailed and beautiful world, such amazing art, be dragged down by something as trivial as that, I can get beside myself. I can get over myself more so. But it does beg the question: did you have to do that? Did you have to write that? Everything else is adult enough. You don't need to use graphic language when it serves no purpose. When it serves a purpose, bring it on. My favorite comedians are Doug Stanhope, Bill Hicks, David Cross, Louis C.K., Patton Oswalt, Richard Pryor, George Carlin. I'm used to adult language, but in the proper context. This was not the proper context for me. Some people will love it. For me, I thought it could have done without that. But all in all, I did give this book 4 out of 5 stars because I honestly do think the artwork is that amazing. The story is 3 because it's very complicated. It's dense. It's not. But I think as the series progresses, I think you're gonna get a better sense of the whole arc. So you can really forgive that because you're still in this phase while reading, and that's not a bad thing. Sometimes you need that intrigue. But I did give it 4 out of 5, and I will read it again, so that means it's not awful. Will I venture to use a Sharpie? Who knows? But I will recommend it to all people. What about you? Did you read this? What did you think of it? What did you think of the artwork and the language and the story in general? I want to see the opinion of different people about all the things that I discussed and much more, because I do think that this has the potential to really shake up comics for some time to come. And it's a great story. So here's hoping that Volume 2 has a lot more of the good stuff and a little bit of editing to get rid of the not so great stuff. So till next time, peace, love, and maki rolls.